Nick, we're back. We've returned.
Yeah.
We're not
Hello.
dead.
Maybe.
What?
Vibing Auxiliary.
So Nick, it's been a while, and we've watched a lot of Toku. I've rewatched a lot. You've watched a lot for the first time. And now we have 11 series here roughly. So yeah, you've made some good progress.
It's been pretty fun watching and stuff. I've really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Now, the only one of these series we've actually talked about on the channel has been Kamen Rider OOOs. So, what are you thinking when it comes to OOOs?
For me, OOOs is a masterpiece.
Henshin.
It's so good.
Okay.
OOOs is so good. I love OOOs so much.
So, what do you think makes OOOs a masterpiece?
I really liked the story that OOOs had, and I loved all of the characters that were in it.
Oh, any in particular that you really liked?
Yeah, Ankh, he's like the best character. It's just my opinion, but it's also fact because I said so. Yeah. That's it. I just feel like again the characters are great, story was great. I really liked a lot of the suit design, monster designs and stuff. Also,
Okay.
I thought that was very nice.
Next up, after we finished OOOs, we went to Kamen Rider Fourze. So, Fourze, how did it follow up OOOs for you?
Well, for me, I really liked Fourze. I don't think it's as good as OOOs or some of the series we've seen, but I still really liked Fourze.
3, 2, 1.
いいから早く変身器ってレバーを入れてそういいから早く
レバーを入れてなんだかわかんねえけど、うちった
それがフォーゼよ
And because Fourze did have some flaws, I felt, but it's still I feel overall.
What would you say were some of the more major flaws?
I guess for me, some of the things that bothered me was I guess for one, sometimes in some cases the cast felt too big, and a lot of them felt like didn't do as much, and were just kind of there in a sense. Not that that's a bad thing, but more of just it felt like some of them could have done more in a sense, and just they kind of existed.
That's fair.
So,
since you said some negative stuff, what would you say your favorite part of Fourze?
honestly, just Gentaro, he was awesome. He made that show great. I loved his personality. Just wanted to be friends with everyone.
Really yeah.
Yeah.
So where do you think Gentaro the series lands?
I would put it in really good.
Really good. Okay. So it's a bit of a step down, but still very solid for you.
Yeah.
So now we're finally getting to the part where the TokuNoob started to actually have an effect on what we started watching. ToQger. Now, this sweeped the Sentai thing. As soon as you saw a train, it just instantly won.
Is it a train? Is this a train? It's a theme trains. This is about train. Oh my gosh, it's about trains. Oh my god, it's about trains.
Like, nothing
Yeah.
to question it. So, how was the train Sentai? Your very first Sentai. How was it?
No, I thought it was pretty good. Basically, for ToQger, at first, I really did like it. Like, I probably originally would have put it in, like, great, because I just did enjoy it, but I felt like as time went on and just the more shows I saw, it kind of started falling down for me. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still really good, but, like, I feel like compared to the other ones I've seen, it just kind of, those ones just kept being better than it, and it just kind of dropped down for me.
Sorry for intruding, but so would you say that the reason for ToQger not being as high as, let's say, if we did this like a couple months ago, isn't its own fault? It's really just because you saw a better series that put it more in perspective?
Yeah, because the other series I saw I just felt were just better than it, which just ended up hurting it. Like, yeah, like if this was a few months ago, it definitely would have been higher, but just because of the fact that the other series we saw were just, my opinion, just better in general, it just ended up lowering it for me.
Okay. Before you rank it, anything more positive you want to say?
I do really like the fact that there are trains in it. I love the train mech. That's pretty cool. I kind of do like the simple look of the suits. It kind of grew on me. I do actually kind of like it. Also, their finishers are really cool.
And really brutal.
That also.
It's up. This is your tier list, so where would you rank it?
I think for right now, I'm gonna put it in good.
Okay, so a bit below Fourze.
Yeah.
Okay. This one I am extremely curious about. Kamen Rider Gaim.
オレンジって俺
Ooh.
So I think this is a good time to mention, this tier list is subjective opinion of Nick and not me, so if you're gonna hate anyone, hate Nick, not me, but also it's his opinion.
Thanks.
Got you, man.
I feel like you just put that warning out for yourself.
It's fine.
Alright.
Kamen Rider Gaim, this is gonna be very interesting.
So, for Gaim, I love the actual story and, like, the whole, like, atmosphere of the show. I really liked that. I thought it was really good. The story kept me interested. I kept wanting to watch more and stuff. And I did really enjoy that. And also the characters, they were great.
I will say, this was one of the series that I think we binged the quickest. I think out of the Kamen Rider series, it might only be second to one that's coming up later.
Yeah, I was really invested in the story. It was really good.
Yeah. So, we got the... So, any other positive things you want to say?
Characters really good. Michi was awesome. Probably my favorite character out of Gaim. He was cool.
Fair.
I like what they did with his character.
Yeah. So, I think now for the negative, I feel like a lot of this, just to make you feel less alone, I feel like there's a fair amount of it that we do feel the same about, but I'll let you take the lead.
So, my biggest problem with Gaim, well, there's two. It definitely starts out slow.
Yeah.
It was like around episode 12 it really started to actually get interesting for me.
I think that was something I definitely... I think luckily you kind of had that bit of a warning for me, though, because I made sure to tell you, like, at the beginning, hey, you gotta wait, okay? You gotta wait for
which definitely, that did help a little bit. Like, I knew it was going to be a little bit of a slow start. But the thing that really bothered me was all the crossover episodes that completely interrupted the flow and just came out of nowhere. And just like, ruined my enjoyment for a little bit of just, like, having these random crossover episodes. Really just hurt it for me.
That's understandable, especially since one of the technically crossover or tie-in episodes was literally the last episode of the series, which tied into the soccer movie.
Which I didn't. We didn't watch because I was like, I don't really want to watch that. I doubt that's important. And then it ties into the last episode, like.
But to be fair, it's not like anything important happens in the last episode. It's only the resolution of Michi's entire series-spanning arc.
Yeah, it's just...
Which they saved for that episode so it could tie into the movie.
Yeah, I just... The crossovers just really hurt it for me, because, like, it just completely interrupted the flow of such, like, a good story.
But, you didn't... We didn't talk about the worst tie-in. The Kikaider reboot tie-in they had. That happens mid, like, cliffhanger. And also has a brain transplant that's never brought up again. So, what were your thoughts on that?
It just felt, like, so out of place. And it kind of just felt like we were back with, like, within, like, the first 12 episodes where things weren't really happening as much, and it was more just kind of like, look, we're, like, dancing and stuff, that's pretty cool. It just completely took you out of it for a crossover episode that isn't relevant whatsoever, and it just kind of was horrible, just being in that place.
Yeah.
Of mid cliffhanger, like, oh my god.
What was the cliffhanger? I think it was one of the Lockseed monsters like escaped into like the human world, and then they just randomly just ignored it for the next episode.
Yeah.
Okay. Any last positive things? Then this will come on a positive note.
Again, still amazing story, amazing characters, and I kind of love like the whole like the other dimension. I forgot the name of it. I love that whole like vibe
Helheim.
it had. That was Helheim. That was cool. I really like that. So
okay, so where would you put Kamen Rider Gaim on this tier list?
If it didn't have all of the crossover episodes that just completely ruined the flow, it probably would have been in Masterpiece.
Okay.
But because of those crossover episodes, and again, the slow start, it just hurt it a bit. I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to put it... I'll put it in, like, good. It was good.
Okay.
No, I'll put it in really good. I'll be nice to it. I'll put it in real good.
Above or below Fourze?
Below.
Okay. I will say the one good thing about the crossover episodes, or at least the Kikaider one, is on rewatch you can directly ignore it. And I guess you also can ignore the first tie-in to the movie. Just you can't ignore the second. So,
That's
yeah.
true.
Okay, next up we're going back to Sentai for Lupat. So, what do you got to say about Lupat?
I really enjoyed Lupat. I love all the characters in it. Story was alright. It definitely wasn't like the main focus. It definitely felt more about characters and stuff, which I did like. I did like that because it did it well with its focus on the characters, and near the end it did end up focusing more on the story, which was kind of good. Like how they did it, I felt it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
That's fair. Anything else you want to say about Lupat?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. So where does Lupat rank for you?
I think for me, I'm gonna put it in great.
Okay.
Because even though it was really enjoyable to watch, I just feel though even still it's not like on the same level as O's for me, because I feel like O's had a really good balance of characters and story, while Lupat did have that more near the end. I just feel like throughout the entire show, O's at least had that for me.
Yeah.
And so that's why I put it in great. That's like really the only complaint I really have about Lupad.
That's
So,
fair.
but-
Lupad definitely is, from what I've seen, a love it or hate it series. Like either you really
Yeah.
like what they did, focusing on the characters for most of it, or you kind of just wished they would have just done it more like a normal Sentai.
I feel like I might not have liked it as much if you didn't tell me beforehand, though, that like
That's
it was
fair.
going to be more character focused. I feel like if I was going into it without knowing that, I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much, or maybe it
Yeah.
would take me a little bit to like realize, oh, this is more character focused type of thing. So
Yeah, this was the second time I kind of, before we started or after we did a series where I was kind of like, okay, the best way to think about this series is like this. I think that usually does help. And
yeah,
because I want to maximize enjoyment of each and every series we see. So obviously I did it with Gaim, with saying like, you gotta wait. Did it with Lupap by saying, this is very character focused. The characters are the story in this. And I did do it one more time, but we'll get to that. But yeah, next up, Xaid.
これで終わりだ
The series that was, I guess this is a spoiler, but the series that we binged the fastest on rewatch.
yeah, I really liked Xaid. I love the story. It took me a little bit to get used to the suits, but then now I kind of just love how they look. Story is great. I love the characters. It was just a really cool series that, again, at the time, I remember, like, when I did a tier list of, like, ranking the intros in a little bit, you told me about it, it was, like, it was, like, B tier, I want to say, I don't remember, but,
I think it was the lowest out of the series we had planned to see.
Yeah, because for me, the concept of, video game doctors, that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But after watching it, I loved it. It was so good. It's so good.
So you would say it justified its premise to you?
Yes, it's like again, I didn't really know what I was gonna expect going into it. But it made sense. It was really well done, and I thought the concept was really cool.
Okay.
After seeing it in practice.
Was there anything that you weren't as big of a fan of in Xaid?
I guess the only thing that's a complaint is that it kind of felt like every time a character died, it didn't really matter because they just get brought back to life. It just felt like character deaths didn't really matter that much.
They got those Mario 1-ups.
Yeah.
But overall, where would you put Xaid?
Even with that complaint, honestly, I love Xaid so much, I'm gonna put it in Masterpiece.
Above
Xaid,
or below? I know this is
I'm gonna
tough for you for a
say,
while.
I think I'm gonna say below, because O's I don't have any complaints about, and Xaid I have that one complaint, but it's still really good. I love Xaid, it's really good.
Okay, we got 5 series left. Now we have Kamen Rider Build, and something unique about this series was this was the first series where it wasn't just us watching, we had someone else watching with us. I don't know if they want their name directly said, so I'm not going to say it, but yeah, so I don't know if that affected the experience at all, but what were your thoughts on Kamen Rider Build? Positive, negatives, what do you got?
I feel like I'm saying this a lot, but I like the story and I like the characters. I really liked Evolve in this, in the story, because, it was very clear that he was more powerful than them, but just his personality, just wanting to mess with them, I really liked that. I thought that was a really cool villain concept, of just wanting to just mess with the protagonist, not just destroying them right away, which eventually was his downfall, but, I thought that was really cool and really well done.
I know for our viewing party, his twist on his real identity. I already said spoilers probably at the start of this video, so I'm just gonna say it. Him being the cafe owner, that seemed to take you guys by surprise.
I think the reason it took me by surprise was this was after we watched Xaid, and you kept bringing it up it was Hero's dad in X8 who was just never there, so I didn't really question. I was like, oh, it's
yeah,
fine.
I did do that.
You did, and I was just
I
like,
did do that.
so-
Yeah.
So you kind of just led me away from even thinking that, because like, oh, it's probably just like him then, because you kept bringing that up. So my brain was like, okay,
I made sure to bring it up just enough so like it was in your mind, but not enough that it was suspicious. I was just like, oh yeah, this guy exists. He's kind of I guess he's kind of like the hero's dad of this. Because I had the same reaction when Hero's dad was an X8. I was like, oh yeah, he's a character.
yeah. So that definitely didn't even, like, for me, that kind of took me away from even thinking that, like, oh, maybe he's, Volt or whatever. So, like,
yeah, maybe he's
so
having an
that's why
affair.
maybe.
that's the plot twist. What else about Build did you enjoy? When it comes to the story, because I know you've been saying a lot of, I like the story. But what about the story in particular did you like about Build?
I thought definitely that was interesting how, like, at the beginning, like, for the world itself, it is split apart. Like, that was, like, kind of an interesting concept, like, in the sense, like, almost, like, different districts, in a way, because, like, from all the other stuff we've seen, it's never really been like that, so that was kind of, like, an interesting thing to think about. And, like, the different, like, I guess, countries, I don't know exactly what they are, but,
I would say countries.
yeah. Of, like, having, in a sense, like, going to war for each other over, like, this one item. Like, that was interesting. And I did really like,
Kamen Rider 3 Houses, yeah.
yeah. I liked, I did like, Sento, that's the main character's name,
Yep.
right? I'm not forgetting. Okay, I got it. I feel so smart. But, I liked Sento a lot. He was cool. And I
Okay.
liked his relationship with Banjo. I liked how that was done.
Okay. Any criticisms you want to say before you rank, or?
Not really. I guess the only criticism that I can think of off the top of my head is that, and this is just more of like an opinion thing. I guess this whole thing's opinion, but
Yeah.
I didn't really like the look of I didn't really like the look of his final form that much.
That's fair.
Yeah, I guess that's like the one thing I guess that I didn't really like, and I guess I'll also say this now. Story-wise, I did like it, but I felt like some of the other stories were better.
Okay.
From different series we watch. Again, not that it's bad, but I think I just enjoyed the concept more of some of the other ones we watched.
Any series that we've already talked about that you enjoyed the story of more?
I think I enjoyed, like, Gaim's story more, for example. But, like, again, Gaim had his problems that I already mentioned. But, like, I think I enjoyed, like, Gaim's story more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you don't have anything else to say, where would you rank Build?
I'm gonna put Build in really good, and I'm gonna put it, I think I'll put it below Fourze, but above,
below Fourze.
Gaim.
Okay.
I'm, like, even though I did really enjoy Build, Gentaro was awesome in Fourze, and Ryusei was also awesome.
Gentaro and Ryusei are just carrying Fourze for you.
I really liked their characters. They were awesome.
That's fair. Okay. Kamen Rider Double. What do you got?
I guess first off, I really like the concept of, like, how it's, like, the two of them together for, like, the rider itself, and it's not one person. That's really cool. I always kind of like that kind of concept.
That's fair.
I really like the double suit, actually. I think it looks really nice. That whole, of, like, the split down in half, I really like that. I like the story. I like the whole, like, like, they were, like, selling memories and stuff.
USB
And,
drugs.
Yeah. I kind of like that whole, it's more like, or in some cases, like, almost like organized crime, almost, in the sense of, like, selling out the memories and stuff like that. And also that, like, detective feel I kind of like, since we haven't really gotten that too much before watching that. So I kind of also really like that. And I really enjoyed Phillips and Shotaro's relationship. I really liked.
Anything else you want to say? Positives or negatives? Or are you ready to rank it?
I don't remember her name, but the Rider girl I really didn't like at all.
Akiko?
Whatsoever. Yeah, I didn't like her. She was awful. I hated her so much.
I see.
Like, I totally forgot about her till we were just talking about it just now. Like, she just popped in my brain. I'm like, wow, I forgot she existed.
That's
fair. I did not like her.
Where'd you rank Kamen Rider Double?
Even with my complaint, I'm gonna put it in great, below Lupet.
Okay. Kamen Rider Decade.
変身仮面ライド DK
So, I will say before we went into this, this series, I did say at the end, the best way to look at it is, basically just think about it as the journey, and not just the ending. But also, I didn't tell you guys the series ended early.
Yeah, you didn't.
I kind of just let the episode play, and then you got shot in the face, and I just paused and I made sure to make it a trend that every once in a while, whenever there'd be a cliffhanger, just saying, "Oh, guys, that's Decade. It's over." So when I did it that time, we had a good discussion with the other person in our party for a good 5 minutes about if that was actually where it ended.
Yeah, I looked it up also, and he's still just like, "Wait, no way, no, you're kidding."
But yeah, Kamen Rider Decade. What did you think? How was the journey through the decade?
I think because for me, I remember at one time you asked me how I was watching it, and I mentioned to you, I kind of felt like the 2-part episodes. I kind of looked at almost like a road trip. I think I said to you, and how I felt it was just going from stop to stop, and I wasn't looking at it like a full story, but more of individual, I guess bite-sized stories type of thing.
Yeah.
Which for me made this really enjoyable for watching, not trying to think of it like one giant story. But the ending of just how it ended was rough. That was just not good.
Obviously, we've talked about how annoying kind of the ending is, but what was your thoughts on the ending movie itself? Because I found it interesting what both you and both the viewing party really thought of Decade's ending.
I mean, I thought it was alright. I think I said this to you, but when we watched it, I honestly feel like I would have preferred if the other movie we watched of Decade was the ending when he went back to his hometown or homeworld.
I think we discussed that.
And I felt like that was a little. I think I said that I thought that was a little bit better as an ending than, let's say, what we got in the movie.
Yeah.
Not that was bad, but
because to be fair, the finale movie does retread a lot of the same ground as the first movie, and it comes technically so close afterward. It's literally that movie, then there's one more arc, and then there's the finale movie.
Yeah.
And we can assume that probably wasn't supposed to be the original intent, seeing as the trailer was so different.
Yeah.
But yeah, where would you rank Decade? First Heisei Phase 1 rider that you saw.
I feel like for some people, like I know the other person we're watching with, the ending itself did kind of ruin it for them, but I feel like for me, cause how I was watching it, I can kind of look past that a little bit. In some ways, for me, I felt like that didn't fully ruin it for me or anything like that, because again, I was looking at it more in bite-sized pieces. So I feel like since I was watching it that way, I think I would put it, because even I think I'm gonna put it at the top of good, because I did really enjoy it, but still that ending.
So better than ToQger, okay.
Yeah, I think I did enjoy the 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 episodes more than ToQger. Like, even though the ending again still was kind of with how again the whole cliffhanger thing, I still think I enjoyed it more.
Samurai Sentai Shinkenger. The most recent Sentai we've seen. What did you think? Funny enough, this was unplanned that we actually watched it alongside Decade, so we were able to actually sync up the crossover.
Not gonna lie, I feel like Decade and Shinkenger had the best crossover episode. Like, maybe it's because I was watching them at the same time and I could appreciate it more. But I really liked the whole thing of how, because Decade's traveling between different worlds, he would just end up there. It felt like fitting in a sense. It didn't really feel like random.
Okay.
But about Shinkenger, I really liked Shinkenger. I love the suits. The characters were really good. I really like the Red. I forgot his name, and I feel kind of bad now. But, Takaru.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was awesome. I liked Ryunosuke. He was also, I really liked him.
It really felt like, from at least watching with you, it felt like Takaru really grew on you over time.
Yeah, at first I didn't really like him that. Like, I'm not gonna say I disliked him, but like I didn't like him that much. But like as the show went on, like as he was growing as a character, he also kind of like grew on me.
Was there any like specific moment where you kind of realized like this guy's the best character in the show? Because I know you've said multiple times that he is your favorite character in Shinkenger.
I don't remember a specific moment when I thought that, but I remember like one moment that was like near the end when
you could say spoilers.
Okay, I forgot her name, but the actual like
Takaru's mom.
Yeah, her like when she showed up and Takaru's whole thing kind of like spilt out. Like I felt so bad for him because like I know at that point I did really like him. Like that moment, I remember I just kind of felt really bad for him of like realizing like everything he's been through.
Yeah.
That's the moment that definitely like sticks out to me.
Yeah, and then he got adopted.
Yeah. So good for him.
Yeah, so I feel like I already know where this is gonna go, but where would you put Samurai Sentai Shinkenger? Or unless you have anything negative you want to say.
I don't really have anything negative to say, to be honest.
Okay, then shoot.
I think for me, I'm gonna put this in Masterpiece because I really liked watching the series.
Where'd you put it in Masterpiece?
I'm gonna put it at the bottom of Masterpiece, but it's really good. Like I really liked it.
Okay. Now the most recent Rider series that we have completed, because there have been some series that we haven't fully completed. Like we dropped Car Ranger. We're not currently caught up on Saber, even though we do plan on finishing that. And we're currently watching through Ryuki. But Kamen Rider Kiva.
Alright.
This one I'm very interested. I think I know where it's gonna go, but I'm really interested in hearing about your positive and negatives, so...
Alright. Kiva, I did like the characters. Walkthrough, he kinda grew on me somewhat. I did kinda like him. I like, I forgot his name, but the guy who's Ixa, I forgot his name, but,
Nago?
Yeah, Nago. I liked him. He was kinda cool. I liked him. I thought it was interesting the whole thing with the swapping times. At first, I will admit it kind of messed with my brain somewhat. Also, I remember when watching, for me, with the whole thing with the switching times, for me, it kind of felt like I just wanted to more watch the present than the past, because I felt more invested in, like, the present compared to the past.
Okay.
And I think I said this to you, I feel like what might have been better, instead of how they did it, by, like, splitting the episode in half for each. Instead, because at that point, they were still, well, I don't know exactly what they were, but, instead they should have maybe done 2 episodes, one completely focused on the past and one completely focused on the present. I think that could have been better.
That's fair.
Because I felt like during how they did it, I didn't really care that much about the past. Like, it was alright, but, like, I felt like I was just more invested in the present, and the past I didn't care as much about. Near the end, I started getting a little bit more interested in it, but still, I just felt like the present was more interesting.
Yeah, okay. I actually do want to ask you, in particular, thoughts on the second half, because the story definitely, like, a lot of stuff changes in the second half of Kiva, so what was your thoughts on that? Because I feel like the second half kind of was the make it or break it for the three of us in our watching group, so what did the second half mean to you?
I mean, I felt like, I don't think I enjoyed it that much. It's like, at that point, it just became like throughout the show, it was kind of like having multiple love triangles, and it just kind of felt like I kind of got tired of it. Because that was what was happening within the present and the past, and it just kind of felt like I just didn't enjoy it. It felt like it was unnecessary almost in some ways.
Yeah,
And then,
OTF finally gets to go his dreams, and he's like, but, wait a minute. Hear me
Wait a
out.
yeah, like, that was kind of dumb. And then also with Wataru's, like, girlfriend or whatever, how, like, her kind of character kept, like, constantly changing of, I want to commit murder, no, don't kill him, type of thing. Like, that was really just weird.
Yeah.
And I felt like didn't make sense. Because, like, it just really felt like they didn't really know what to do, per se, because they kept going back and forth almost.
Okay. So, anything else you want to say before ranking Kamen Rider Kiva?
I did like Kiva's suit. That was nice.
Like all the suits, or just Kiva's suit?
I like most of the suits. Yeah, I would say.
Okay.
They were pretty good.
So where would you rank it then?
I'm gonna put it in fine.
Fine. Okay, so nothing's hit bad.
I mean, I would say again the worst we've seen is probably Kiva, but even so, I don't think it's a bad series.
Yeah.
But
that's fair. The person
it's
in our
like
group
mediocre.
the person in our group who must not be named really enjoyed Kiva, so there's definitely a split.
No,
you can go.
I was gonna say, I think for me it was really just the constant love triangles and the splitting, like, characters of just being, like, leaning one way then just completely another. And then also the thing you mentioned at the end, like the very end, how you were, like, brought up, oh yeah, it's, like, basically for nothing because they're getting attacked again.
Yeah.
Also time travel. I was really hoping for no time travel. Then they time traveled.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I remember my first time watching Kiva, and when they're like, hey, it's the Neo Fangire, it's like, cool, okay, nothing matters, the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really weird ending, because it's not like it was gonna get resolved.
It felt like they were trying to have oh look, we could do another thing, but, like, it just kind of felt like everything you did was just pointless.
Yeah, it felt like it was trying to be like, yes, the story will go on. Meanwhile, it just felt like, yes, the story you just saw was for nothing. Now here's the real important story that you won't see.
Yeah.
Unless that fails too, who knows? But
maybe.
We do have 3 things left, and we're going to get through them quickly. The Kamen Rider 90s movie trilogy. So, we're going to rank those. They're not on this list, so I'll be putting them in post, but first up, Shin Kamen Rider, or Kamen Rider Shin. Not one that's gonna come out soon that has nothing to do with Kamen Rider Shin, but Shin Kamen Rider Prologue from the 90s. Yeah, okay.
Alright. That movie was, I'm just gonna say, it was interesting.
It took itself very seriously for the first 2 acts.
Yeah, and then the third act was just kinda...
I feel like this review is just really for the third act at this point.
Yeah, it was just all over the place.
That was probably some of the hardest I've laughed at any Toku.
Yeah, like, honestly, like, this was, I think the reason that I enjoyed it is because we were watching it together, so it was just kind of like,
Yeah.
just kind of making fun of it. But
that fight
I would
scene,
say,
though.
oh, that fight scene was awesome. Like, that might be the best fight scene I've seen.
It's in my top.
That fight scene was amazing.
We gotta do, if there's any in the future, maybe do like a top, final Kamen Rider fights. That could be fun.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Okay. So, what anything else you gotta say about Shin? It's very different
I feel
look.
like, yeah, definitely. I feel like I would have a much different opinion if I was just watching it by myself. Because it probably would be. I mean, I'd probably either be fine or bad if I was watching it by myself because, with how it just is. But since you're watching it together, I feel like that made the movie a lot more enjoyable. So I guess just want to say that.
Okay.
For where I'd rank it, I think I would probably end up putting it in good. Below ToQger, because it was fun to enjoy, but like it was fun to watch since we were watching it together. But like realistically, I feel like it wasn't really like that good.
Okay, I think whenever we talk about the series or rank it amongst ourselves, we usually just say it's like negative something just because it was ironic.
Yeah. Yeah, what we give it, like a negative, like 8 point something, because it was just it was ironic enjoyment of it.
Yeah. Now, Kamen Rider ZO, where he stalks a kid.
Okay, it's that one.
Yeah.
Story was it was okay. I did like the monster designs because they did a good job with them. Like I remember one of them, I think was like the spider, like made me kind of feel uncomfortable with how they did it. Like it was done good, like with how it was like designed and stuff. So I thought they did a really good job with that and like how it looked and stuff. But the story itself was kind of okay. I wouldn't say it was that great.
Okay.
So,
well, if you don't have much to say, where would you rank it?
I think I'm just gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it in bad.
Oh, okay. Damn.
I was debating between fine or bad, but like I feel like if Kiva's like the standard for fine, I feel like it's worse than Kiva. So I feel like it just fits then to go into bad.
Okay.
I feel like it's something I would watch once and then just never come back to.
That's fair.
To be honest. Like at least with
Shin?
Shin, like I would come back to watch that if I was watching with someone because that at least could be funny.
And also the fight scene.
That fight scene was awesome.
Didn't you say you were watching the fight scene the next day as well, showing it to?
Yeah, I did. I watched it because it was
really
pretty
cool.
cool.
Okay, now last thing we're ranking: Kamen Rider J, Nature Boy, grows big and then gets beat up boy. Kamen Rider J.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was alright. He turned big at the end.
He did do
That was kind of cool, I guess. I can like kind of remember the plot of it, but not really.
There was a little girl that he was friends with.
Yeah,
And she got kidnapped, and he was like, no, I need to protect her and nature. And then there was like a fairy thing.
Wasn't it like a grasshopper or whatever?
Yeah, it was like a grasshopper, but act like Navi from Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
I will say, when we talked about this, I think we agreed that quality-wise, it was probably the best of the 3 90s movies.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much your opinions have changed or not. But
I feel like...
Yeah.
I feel like for me, like, ranking this wise, it just barely gets out of bad.
So
I feel like it was just slightly better.
So you would say below Kiva, fine.
Yeah. It, like, barely gets out.
Okay. And that's the tier list.
Yeah, we did it.
You did it. Anything you'd want to change? Or are you happy where you put everything?
Just taking a quick look. Yeah, no, I think I'm happy with that.
Okay, cool. Well, that's currently where you stand on the Toku series we've seen. Obviously, we might do another one of these updates farther in the future when you've seen even more. But yeah, a lot of progress has been made. I guess overall, there is one last question I do need to ask you, and we didn't go over this question before.
Okay.
But since starting with Kamen Rider OOOs, and eventually doing TokuNoob, and then going on the Sentai, and all these other Rider series, how do you think your opinion of Tokusatsu has really changed? Because obviously your only real knowledge of it was, you saw a little bit of Shinkenger's Power Rangers adaptation when you were younger, and you knew it was a thing. So, how do you think your opinion has really changed?
I guess before I didn't really care that much about it. In a sense, like I was like, oh, it's just Power Rangers, whatever. It's fine, I guess. But I think now I've been really liking it. Like, it's been very enjoyable to watch. So it's definitely improved a lot from me just kind of be like, I don't really care. It's just kind of a thing. Because now I do actually quite enjoy it. So yeah, I've been really liking these watchers, and I've been appreciating the shows a lot more.
Okay. Well, that's it for the video. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed Nick doing like 90% of the work on the video while I added my useless commentary. But before we go, there is one last thing. There is going to be more TokuNoob videos coming. If you saw the video that would be posted a bit before this, probably around like a yesterday sort of time when this video comes out, you'll know that I said there would be a poll for the next TokuNoob episode, and that is what we're going to be doing. So the next upcoming episodes you can vote on in the comments by basically just writing down which episode you want to see. I want to see TokuNoob reacts to blank. Is TokuNoob reacts to Power Rangers, where we'll be going through all different Power Rangers intros, and basically it would be very similar to the Kamen Rider and Super Sentai react before that. Another one, this one is from a recommendation that I got, and if I can find the comment, I'll put it on screen right now, is TokuNoob reacts to Sentai handoffs. Nick has seen, I think, 2 or 3 of these already, but he hasn't seen them all, so he'll be ranking them kind of like the Power Rangers, Super Sentai, or Kamen Rider ones. So you could also vote on that one. It also probably will take a little less time to actually come out, so that's good. And finally, TokuNoob reacts to Sentai ending themes / dances, where we'll be reacting to the Sentai ending themes and dances. And I actually haven't seen them all, so I'm going to find it very interesting, because I don't know all of them. I know some of them, though, and I'm really interested in seeing how that would be ranked. So, basically, all these episodes will come out eventually, but depending on which one wins the poll, that will be coming out first. Whatever gets second will come out second, and whatever comes out third will come out third. So, if you've made it this far into the video, obviously you care enough, so please leave a comment saying, I want to see TokuNoob reacts to blank. You can leave that at the end of your comment or something, because I'm going to be reading all the comments. But that's really it. Nick, anything you want to say before we sign off?
Nothing much, but I've just been really fun. I've been really enjoying it, and I hope people are enjoying learning about my experiences with it. Yeah. Or just making fun. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever works for you.
And as much as I joke about it, please be nice to Nick in the comments. He is just saying his opinion. And obviously, that's the good thing about Tokusatsu. Everyone has their own opinion. And if you want to send Nick death threats, do it in your mind and not in the comments. Besides that, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.